A new recording by Brunton Gibb on the subject of effective speech. The first and one of the most important essentials of good platform work is correct deportment. The successful singer, actor, lecturer, or reciter knows that the first impression made is the visual impression, or in other words, the impression made on the eyes of the audience. The best possible voice will not sufficiently compensate for poor stage presence. Therefore, stand correctly, move gracefully, and invest the body with power, dignity, and freedom, remembering at the same time that the bodily attitude and feeling will materially determine the vocal tone and color. In artistic work, the physical and vocal are inseparable factors. While gesture, which has been called the language of the body, is an important branch of the art, it must ever remain subsidiary to deportment. Gesture might be likened to the ornamental parts of a building, but deportment represents the foundation of the structure. Similarly, we can say that breathing is also a foundation, the foundation of the voice. We should remember to breathe deep down in the chest, for there we have the important muscles which control the breath stream and consequently the voice. For voice is simply the vibrating air which has passed out of the lungs. Another guide to correct breathing is that its action should neither be seen nor heard. Therefore, avoid upper chest expansion, shoulder raising, or the audible intake of air. After correct deportment and breathing, the speaker should aim at audibility and distinctness. All voice users should take trouble with their speech so that others who have to listen to them are saved trouble. Produce the voice well forward on the lips. This will improve the tone, resonance, and enunciation and will relieve the throat of any strain or contraction. The throat, of course, should play no active part in voice production, the concentration of delivery being placed on the breathing muscles, the central chest wall, and the front of the mouth. In brief, the essentials of good voice production are lower chest breathing, central chest extension, throat relaxation, forward placing of the voice, and free articulation. Remember at all times that we can only speak as well as we can breathe, and that in producing the voice it is better to be light and right than strong and wrong. Galli-Curci's dictum, to use the interest rather than the capital of the voice, is excellent advice to all students of speech and song. Be sure that you know the elementary sounds and their respective formations. The vowels constitute the body and music of our language, and if they are not correctly placed and formed, vocal tone and quality, carrying power, enunciation, and word pronunciation must suffer. Weakness of consonant formation will lead to poor articulation, faulty diction, indistinct utterance, and the loss of word character. The beauty of speech will be found in expression. This is embraced by correct inflection and emphasis, effective phrasing and pausation, a pleasing modulation, and varying degrees of rate, pitch, and color. We must avoid on the one hand monotonous delivery and on the other excessive variety. Be natural, not according to individual inclination, but rather according to artistic standards. As you speak or recite, appear to think and not to know your lines, and endeavor so to color the words you use that they will echo the sense of your poem or prose passage. In short, paint, as it were, a verbal or word picture of the thing you describe, which should at all times be imagined and visualized. None of these things can be accomplished effectively without technical development or the adequate training of the real mediums of self-expression, namely the body, the voice, the emotions, and the mind. The last named is the most important of all, directing and controlling the other departments, and there can be no real progress in art without mental development. The study of Shakespeare and the speaking aloud of his plays and sonnets is earnestly recommended to all voice users, for in Shakespeare we have the foundations of correct speech. David Garrick said, "Never let your Shakespeare out of your hands. The more you read him, the better you will love and understand him, and the better you will speak the English tongue." After all, there is only one royal road to success: study. All good elocution comes from the head. Learn to think. It is the hardest work in the world, but it is the only way. Character, too, must play its part in giving distinction and conviction to our performances on stage or platform. A mean strain will always show out in your work and destroy its beauty and effectiveness. Do not be envious of another's success or conceited because of your own. Or as Washington once so aptly put it, in success, keep your head. In defeat, keep your heart. I will conclude with some simple but practical advice to all students of the spoken word. Remember always to stand well, breathe correctly, speak distinctly, feel deeply, express artistically, be sincere and natural, and think.